And now I'd like to introduce Advisor Tony Travis.
Thank you, Danny. This is not on, but it's okay.
Now it's on. I don't want to get two mics going. Good. Thank you so much. It's so great to be here tonight for this inaugural event. As you will soon see, there will be a fairly large amount of filmmakers up here and a relatively short amount of time to probe their minds. So, what we're going to do, let me, I think, everybody up. Really, there's only two things that both you and I want to know from these filmmakers. A, how and why did you make this film? And B, how the heck did you get it funded? From Red, the director, Nicole Johnson. From Everywhere at Once, director Alan Berliner. From Flash Crash, director Rudi Azank. From On My Way to School, producer and writer Kimberly Singleton. From The Cure, director, writer, and actor Christopher James Lopez. From Love and the Small Print, Ramphis Murthel. And from Transmogrification, director James Duarte. Nicole is a performer, choreographer, producer, and founder and creative director of Giovanna Productions, a non-profit production company that raises funds and awareness for both domestic and international causes via the arts. I scribbled some notes. Your film, teenage alcohol, drug abuse. You had no dialogue, but you had a very cool score. How did this film come about, and how did you choose to have no dialogue?
Okay, well, my concentration, I'm a student at NYU, work, I guess we would call it, and so my studies is ethical production and management in the arts, and a minor in social activism. So I look at different social issues, things that either I've gone through or things that are just in my surrounding area. I look at a lot of different causes, including autism, diabetes, celiac disease, and I look at how those causes affect us in society, how we as either teenagers or as family members, like how they affect us in our regular, like our narratives, our stories. And so this one is something that I personally, I have a connection to it because I grew up in New York City without stepping into the world of drinking, underage drinking, and things like that. I avoided it, and it's hard for the girl that avoids stepping into those situations to speak out about her situations, you know. And it's unfortunate because sometimes it's an unavoidable thing that the girl that was who chose to stay in the bathroom, she couldn't really do anything about her situation, kind of got stuck in the middle of like a rock and a hard place. And I wanted to tell the story of that girl and those feelings that she would go through. But then I also want to tell the story of the girl who decides that she, you know, wants to go ahead and step up and do what she wants to do. Then I wanted to tell the girl about, tell the story about the girls who do this and it's fun and it's free and it's easy. You know, there's a whole bunch of different types of teenagers nowadays, and I feel that the stories that they have behind them are never told from the girl's point of view. And so being one of those girls, I figured it would be interesting to step up and do that. And then for silent film, I just feel that silent films are always very effective. And most of my films are silent because I feel that it's actually a little bit more of a challenge for me to put together a film and tell a story without words. Because I mean, if you can do that, then hopefully you can also do it with words, but like the foundation is the storytelling, is the people, it's the reactions and truthfully reacting to one another. You know, our first reactions are in our minds, and so I felt that putting together a silent film would be the best way to tell this story, as well as just a challenging way for myself.
How did you cast these young actors. How did you like working with the whole gaggle of young actors?
Yeah, I enjoyed. They're actually members of my organization. My nonprofit organization works primarily with youth, but we do have older members. And I just pretty much, I know them as people. And so each of them, I have a personal connection with them. And I kind of just took what I knew about them and said, well, I'm going to put you in this character of innocence, and then I'm going to put you in this character of temptation, and this character, and those are the names. The names are actually the feelings that we get, and the mentality that we're in. And so the girl who stayed in the bathroom, her name is Innocence. The girl who was tempted to go with, her name is Tempted. So I went around and I just kind of just looked at my members, and I said, I think you can embody this feeling, and I think you can embody this this mindset of this one particular character, and it worked out because those girls are they're very talented.
Right.
Yeah.
Great. Where's this film now? Where is it going?
Well, I'm looking to go ahead and extend it and start from the beginning of the situation and seeing the girls as friends originally, and then it escalates into this climactic part where they meet at this party when they thought it was going to be a sleepover. So I want to see the girls from the beginning and then see where it actually ends up. Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
Next up we have Alan.
So let me tell you what the New York Times said about Alan Berliner. His work is powerful, compelling, bittersweet, full of juicy conflict and contradiction, innovative in their cinematic technique, unpredictable in their structures, and illustrating the power of fine art to transform life. He is the recipient of the Rockefeller, Guggenheim, Jerome Foundation Fellowships, and has received multiple grants from the National Endowment of the Arts, the New York State Council of the Arts, and the New York Foundation of the Arts. He has won 3 Emmys. In 2006, the International Documentary Association honored him with an International Trailblazer Award for creativity, innovation, originality, and breakthrough in documentary filmmaking. He's had retrospectives galore around the world. I can go on and on.
This is very embarrassing.
You know, I mean, what can I add? He's the Kubrick of documentary. Alan, here's my first question to you. What the hell are you doing here? This is the start of film festival.
Listen,
You're the Kubrick of docs, and
Dan Schneider and I go back like to when we're 5, 6, 7 years old. He's one of my oldest and closest friends.
yes. Okay. I got to ask you, first of all, the film was fabulous. There were no credits on it. Did you edit it?
I edited.
Is that the process, the documentary? He's an editor? I mean, you had hundreds, 500, 400, 600 images, same amount of music pieces?
I had tens of thousands of images to choose from.
You choose. Give us the process. Is it a nightmare or is it a delight? How do you do that? Do you make a list? Say, this is what I want, or you just...
No.
What?
It is a delight.
Okay.
But it's really a difficult delight. I love putting things together. I love making collages. And I like sitting there and, I mean, just in terms of the film you saw, I don't know if you remember, there's a shot of a red and white striped bus going underneath the lamppost, and there's a xylophone scale. That's the soundtrack, the piece of music for that. I just put that together one day. I said, that's kind of cool. You know, let's do more. And then, you know, and I don't know, let's call that a molecule, right? Sound and image molecule. And then I make some more sound and image molecules, and then I put them together and they become compounds. It's like a chemical, it's like making chemistry. And then you put things together and then, you know, things get built, and then, yeah, and then it becomes a musical somehow.
Yes.
This film.
Yeah, it's like an orchestra. It's orchestrated.
And then the conductor becomes a kind of surrogate for me as editor, and then the traffic cop becomes who's stopping and he becomes a surrogate for me as editor, and then it becomes a kind of journey, you know, musical and sound and image journey.
Is clearing all of these images and the music a nightmare, or I don't want to get you busted, I don't know if they are cleared, but...
well, let's stop you there. So, this film was made a long time ago, like 27 years ago.
Okay, say nothing.
Yeah. No. It's actually, nothing's cleared because the film has never been on television and it's never been shown theatrically for money. It was a film, it's the last in a series of films that I made that are related to a series, it's part of a series. In those days, film, actual motion picture, and that's made on motion picture film, not video, right? They're all images, actual pieces of celluloid acetate. At one time in New York City, film was all over the place. You know, you could go to stores and buy it, and flea markets and buy it, and Canal Street was filled with places. I just used to buy a lot of film. Collage. If you're going to make collages, you got to surround yourself with things to put together.
Are you still in the market? Because I have a few.
Absolutely, sure. In fact, you know, I'm happy to be the archive for any of your stuff. Stuff to put together. You know.
Thank you.
That's really more my speed, certainly.
Okay. Do you have any advice for the young documentarians here?
Sure. I say follow. Well, it's about following. I say follow your heart. I say follow your fascinations, and I say follow your passion. And don't be afraid to make mistakes. You know, no one gets it right the first time. Try something. Show it to people. Get feedback. Keep going. If you're if you want to be a filmmaker, if you want to make things, understand that it's a process. The more you do it, the better you get. But the most important thing is, you know, follow your heart. That's really simple.
Thank you so much, Alan Berlinger. He truly is a legend. We're honored to have you with us. Thank you. This next fellow here, you met him a little bit earlier. He is graduating this year from NYU Film School with a bachelor's degree in filmmaking. And finally, at age 17, he became the youngest person to complete the New School's film production 3-year certificate program, while also attending Bard College and SUNY New Paltz as part of a self-designed high school curriculum. I'm going to get back to that. So you made a very modern parable of morals with a very unmodern 1940s-ish Warner Brothers score. Was it Oscar Peterson who played
Oscar Peterson playing the theme for Laura. Yeah.
Was this a school project? Was it a school project?
Yes, yeah.
Tell us about it. How did it come about? And
it was my my intermediate project at NYU, yeah, that was it. I did it for a class. I started writing one script about a couple getting together, and then started writing a different script about a couple breaking apart. And yeah, it's a good thing I went with the breaking apart one, because the getting together one was supposed to be outdoors, and we had a horrible blizzard that day that we shot. So if we'd been doing that script, we wouldn't have been screwed. But we did a great indoors breakup movie. So yeah.
Fabulous. The lead actor, he was terrific.
Vance, who's here. Vance.
He's here.
There we go.
Is he here?
Watch him forever.
Yeah, yeah. So let me backtrack and get back to this self-designed education curriculum accelerated calendar that you had. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I dropped out of high school at after 9th grade because I wanted to start taking film classes or acting classes, and they wouldn't let me into any acting or film.
Rudi's also an actor and a saxophonist, which I want to talk to you later. I need a saxophone player for my band. So.
Okay, we'll work about that. Yeah, so I wanted to do either of those, but they wouldn't let me into any, real university starting as a freshman. So I started taking classes at all the schools, as many as they would let me, which is about 3 or 4. So yeah, I was jumping back from upstate to the New School and did this 3-year program at the New School in filmmaking, which is a wonderful school. They have great production curriculum. And yeah, because I made a few films there and wrote a screenplay, NYU wanted me to come to them to do the real college.
Real college. How old are you, by the way?
21.
21?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. I thought you were more like 16 or something.
Yeah.
That's
When
good.
I was
I feel
16,
better
I was
now.
also saying
I
I was
feel much
21.
better. What's next?
I'm working on a screenplay right now, rewriting it and rewriting it. It's a coming-of-age story about an 85-year-old man. And
Oh, something you know about. That's great. They always say, write what you know. This is really cool. An 85-year-old, go on.
An 85-year-old man who has the youth and vigor of the 21-year-old. And
Oh, like Dan.
like Dan.
Oh, I see. There's another
Exactly.
job here. Great.
It's a feel-good comedy musical.
Yes. It's a musical.
It has musical elements to it. Yeah.
Jazz.
Lots of jazz, lots of classics. But it's about a Philharmonic clarinet player. So retired clarinet player for 44 years of the film.
Oh, excellent.
So music has to be very much weaved into the story.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Rudi. Our next filmmaker is the president and CEO of Sing Sing 2000 Entertainment, a company that produces live comedy events, manages authors and entertainers, and produces independent video and films. She is a writer, producer, and director. And her first 4 films have been released on DVD, and they're called Shades of Cinema, short films about my people. All of her films have been screened at film festivals around the United States and Jamaica. Excellent. Thank you. On my way to school, producer and writer, Kimberly Singleton.
Woo. I just want to introduce Tony Wells, who is really my partner in the backbone of many of our productions. But he always pushes me up to speak. So even if he doesn't want to say anything, I really think he should come up front because he is one of the advisors to this organization.
Well, let's get Tony up here. And while he's coming up here, he is. Tell us, what was it like to work with Tony on this? So you co-produced it with him, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I did.
How was it working with this fine
Well, you know, I don't know
filmmaker?
how many of you know Tony, but he seems to be very mild-mannered, but he is a taskmaster. And I don't know if you've ever seen him really get upset and frustrated, but he's somebody who's really on point. He sticks to schedules, and you know, he really keeps people in line. So I think we shot this in one day.
What?
Because of Tony, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fabulous. So this film, teenage and adolescent issues, gun violence, bullying, loneliness, boredom, frustration, is in black and white. It had a great score. It was a great score. How did it all come together? How did you guys come together? I mean,
I'll let you.
Should I not have said that?
No, when I started my production company, I was looking for someone to do some work for us, and I saw her name in some editions, and she was at CBS, so I sat down with her, and she was doing some work for my company, and the rest is history. I liked her a lot, so we started doing projects together.
That's great. Kimberly, you're a director. You chose not to direct this. Why?
Well, actually, this was my the first film that we produced together, and I hadn't directed anything at all.
Okay.
Tony had read a short story that I had written,
time.
and he had chosen somebody he had worked with before to direct it. So I just co-produced it with him.
The 11-year-old actor, his character was named Ryan. He was so engaging. He was so fantastic. What a find. Where'd you get that kid?
Well, actually, Tony found him. He works, you know, Tony does theater production also, so he works with the children organization called the Peppermint Players that are children actors. So we got him.
Is that where the cast The entire
Yes.
cast? But
That was very...
predominantly the cast was,
It was
you know,
pretty
teenagers.
easy getting them because they were all very disciplined, so I
Right.
didn't have to worry about them running their lines, being on time, doing anything. So I still to this day, I have a strong relationship with the Peppermint Players, so we went there and casted the whole film.
The Peppermint Players.
Yeah, out of
That's so
Newark,
cool.
New Jersey. Yeah, so it was pretty cool to get all of the kids from that theater company.
Yeah, how did you get funding for that? This was a long time ago. You weren't a director yet, and how did you guys fund that?
Well, what I did is I started this association a long time ago with a person who owned a recording studio. I owned the cameras and then the lighting and everything. So I kind of told everybody we should put everything in the pot. And when you do your project, you do your project, you do your project, we could cut out thousands of dollars if we just did it together. And that's how it came about. And then to get the crew, we had a big cookout in my backyard. That was my neighborhood, by the way. So I talked to everybody on the block. I was doing the show. And we had a big cookout in the backyard to feed the crew and everybody. So all day long we was cooking steaks and hot dogs and the whole nine.
It's kind of the Roger Corman school of filmmaking, one-day shooting.
Yeah.
What's next for you guys? Are you going to work together? Are you still working together?
Yes. This was our first project, which was 12 years ago. And since then, we've done, I think, about 8 films, maybe 7 or 8.
Somewhere around.
And we have a couple of projects in pre-production, so you'll be hearing more from us later this year.
Great. Thank you. Good luck. Thank you. Thanks for coming up. Our next young filmmaker made his directorial debut with The Cure, co-written by his fellow actor and filmmaker Davy Santos, the fellow who played your brother.
Correct.
In the film. Excellent. I figured that out all myself. Now, here's the kicker. It was his first film out of the box, and it was an official selection, and it world premiered at the Cannes Film Festival Short Film Corner this year. Not too shabby. So, it was intense sibling superhero psychodrama.
Right.
How's that?
It's kind of hard to categorize some of my works.
It's kind of spooky right off the bat. Wow. Director. You know what? I just got to go for that. Did you attend Cannes?
Of course, yes.
Of course. Tell us about it.
That was in May, and so much has happened that it kind of feels like a surreal moment that didn't even happen. Because as soon as I got from Cannes, I shot my second short, and then I just kept thinking about, wow, I went to Cannes and I didn't remember it anymore because I have so much work to do on this project. So.
Yeah, but come on. Tell us the good stuff. We know what goes on with freshman filmmakers in Cannes. Come on.
The good stuff was that I met a great animator team from St. Petersburg, Russia, who did the animation sequence for my second short, and I met a musician from Paris who agreed to sign on to my second short and do the music, so it was great to make those connections there because it saved us a lot of money in our second short.
Good. What an experience. So how did the film come together, the superhero film?
It came
with Davi?
together.
Co-writer.
Co-writer, yes.
Had you worked together before?
No, I didn't. I met Davi that summer, and after an agent told me, I was an actor first, told me that I was bad for the economy as an actor. I'm bad for the economy.
You're bad?
Yes, my type. I don't look like anything they told me, so I thought, well, why don't I write something?
Well, that was last year. This year you're in.
So we wrote this 20-minute short, and we
This was your first with him. So I mean,
right.
this is your first directorial.
Correct.
Had you done one with him prior?
No,
First. Okay.
First written, first everything, and we thought, oh, it's just a scene about 2 guys in a cafe. That would be super easy to just direct it and write it and star in it. Sure, let's do it, but it was.
And it was
hard.
super easy.
No,
True?
it was really
No?
hard, yeah.
How long did it take you?
Almost 4 days of shooting.
Almost 4 days.
Yeah.
That's funny.
The hard thing about it was when you're working on a project like that, you kind of become an actor last, and it's your first a producer, then a director, and you're still a writer, because for us, we were writing on finishing up things on set, and then you're an actor, so you kind of forget you're an actor when you're there, when your money is at, like, oh my god, the light's gonna fall, that's on my credit card.
So that explains how they funded it.
Yeah.
Credit cards. Somebody's credit cards.
Yeah.
Not yours. What's next?
Our second short, which is a 43-minute short film, Densely Hollow, and a feature film that we're writing to shoot in the fall of this year.
Fabulous. You know, I have a little advice for you. You should be pitching the Sci-Fi Channel, you and your partner there, or at least the producers from The Walking Dead.
Okay.
Something like that. Warner Brothers, perhaps, maybe bring back Superboy.
Okay.
Make a deal. Okay. Thank you. Our next and last filmmaker. Two more, exactly. Oh, geez, I'm just so ahead of myself. I'm so sorry because you are Ramphis.
Yes, sir.
I am so stupid. I'm sorry. I apologize. Okay, so Ramphis, you're a producer, actor, and writer, founding partner in Beast of the East Productions. Your mission is to bring the world of film and media closer to an East Coast ethic through human narratives that reflect the deepest passion, integrity, and honor. Now, the kicker with this guy is also that his film premiered this year at the Cannes Film Festival in the Short Film Corner. And it also recently premiered in New York at two different film festivals, the Big Apple Film Festival and the African American Women in Cinema Film Festival. Well, wait a minute, here's the kicker. The film was picked up for distribution by Play Film Festival in LA and is available on iTunes, so congratulations. Love in the small print. Conflicted relationships, cheating, lying, dancing, rooftop suicide. It sounds like my family. Really. First of all, congratulations again on that distribution deal. I gotta go right for it. Cannes. Did you go? Cannes Film Festival?
Absolutely, I went to
Come on, give us the dirt.
It was, like my partner Adam would say, it was like Disney World for filmmakers. It was amazing. We had a blast out there.
Yeah.
Like, words can't explain the experience.
Explain it, though.
Yeah.
Explain it. You wrote this, so you can explain that.
I mean, as soon as we got to Cannes, you know, it was just, you know, the prestige, the people that we met. I mean, I think our second day in, I mean, we met Brett Ratner, who I've been trying to meet for the past several years.
Excellent.
And we had a really great conversation with him. And he gave us his information. We were able to pass one of our projects to him, and his production company is taking it into consideration.
Wow, excellent.
And we also had the opportunity to sit down with some other production companies that are releasing, you know, worldwide films across the board. And Adam, my partner Adam's actually here, the director.
Adam, right.
We had an opportunity to go to this really cool like after party for this film with like June Luke was there that produced The Smurfs and Men in Black 3. And it was just one thing after another. We're surprised every day. The people that we met, the press that we got, the relationships that we made. I mean, I wish I could do it all over again. You know, I live it all the time in my dreams. Seriously.
Really? Can we talk later? Excellent. So you produced this with Adam. Where is Adam?
He's right there.
Come on up here. Come on. Adam is the director of Love in the Small Print. How did you guys get together?
Well, Adam and I have been childhood friends since summer of 11th grade. So we've done everything together. You know, we've had auto club. We had an auto club together. We traveled together. We used to street race. We used to have. You know, Adam was into the street racing world. He brought me in, and at one point in time, we had an auto club that was pretty successful in Long Island, where we used to compete in car shows, and we would go to Hunts Point or Green Point and race.
Everything was legal, though.
What had happened was that, you know, Adam and I had both been in some long-term relationships, and we had some severe breakups. And one day we were just talking. You know, it was about 2 years since we'd done a project together, and Adam said, "Hey, you know, I want to, you know, shoot something about what we went through." And you know, it's something that all people can relate to, all walks of life. Everyone has been in a relationship or is in a relationship, and these three stories combined, some of us have friends or colleagues that have been through some of these things, or we can understand that. And our goal as filmmakers is to make films that touch and move, inspire people. So we wanted to do something that was, you know, real New York, because we're really proud and prideful of being New Yorkers. And we wanted to do something that was a little edgy and gritty. So this was like a no-brainer.
Good. Thank you both for being here. Adam and Ramphis. Now, get to our last filmmaker. Let's see. This filmmaker beside me here, he seeks to educate, provoke, and awaken his audience by exploring controversial themes through the narrative, experimental, and documentary modes of cinematic storytelling. He is currently pursuing a BFA in Film and Television at the City College of New York. Well, congratulations on that. A Man Shaving, a beautiful Philip Glass score, shot in 16mm, that's far out. Intense bathroom close-ups. My first question to you, how's my shave today?
How's my shave today?
Terrible.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny because after this film, I've decided I would not actually shave ever. Ever, for now.
Good. I'm with you. What inspired you to make this project and shoot it in 16mm, which we used to do 40 years ago?
Yeah, no, I had the privilege of taking the last film course, actually 16mm film course at City College of New York. They're not going to do it anymore, it's too expensive.
Yes.
And I essentially was an assignment. I did not intend to edit it, so I just shot 6 rolls. Realized I couldn't afford to digitize it, so on the day of showing it, I took out my iPhone and I recorded it. So everything you saw here was recorded in my class.
Great. Who are your influences?
My influences include Stanley Kubrick.
Is Alan still here? Here's
and Pedro Almodovar.
Who?
Pedro Almodovar. He's the Spanish.
Almodovar.
Almodovar. Yeah.
See. Wow. Let's see. What's next for you?
What's next is I'm wrapping up my BFA. I plan to get my MFA, so I'm applying to graduate school. And I'm working with an amazing creative collective out in the Bronx, where I'm from, called Connected Spontaneity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. How old are you?
I'm 21.
Excellent. By the way, as Dan had mentioned, the good people from the Gillette Safety Razor Company have called and they want to speak to you.
Definitely.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot.